All right, we are. I think we're live now. We are, and we have a call in the District of Indiana. Avalon has won that district. There's no surprise. I think I posted this yesterday. So current votes, we have 10 for Avalon, 83. Oh, hello, 83.3%. And then 1 for each of the other candidates. So right now, all we have is Indiana called. And yep, that's pretty much it.
So currently President Evelyn is leading in this race.
Yep, we're only at 1% in, so it's gonna be a little bit before we get something else. But that's all we have for now. We'll be back once more results are in.
I don't really think it's much of a surprise. Yesterday we saw that as the first real result, and she is in the lead with 10 votes and 1 electoral vote, while the others have 1 vote each. So yeah.
So it's not looking good for the other candidates right now.
But then again, it is only one state.
Yeah, and we're only 1% in, so anything can really happen, but we'll see.
A different format from the past elections. You need 37 total votes to win, and Avalon has already gotten one of those necessary.
Right now it's looking good for everyone, though anything could change.
Is there a camera in VTimes Square right now?
There is, but I didn't cut to it yet. We'll get there later.
Alright.
Alright, we are back. We have 2 more calls in 2 districts. Avalon has won the districts of Maryland and Delaware, which puts her at 3, and I think the vote just updated for Tom, if you want to go over that.
Do you want me to count the votes?
Yes, I didn't go over that, but yeah, go over the votes and all that.
Well, currently Curtis is at like 10.7%. He is at 3 votes. Court Epic is at 17.9%. He is at 5 votes. And President Evelyn is at 71.4%. She is at 20 votes. So it's looking good for her right now in this race. We are 2% in.
Alright. Evelyn has currently won 3 of the available districts. As mentioned previously, you need to win at least 37 to be declared the projected winner of the Winter 2024 VTimes election.
Any further comments? If not, we're gonna keep waiting for more results.
Alright.
Well, if Evelyn wins, she will become the second president to have won 2 terms in a row. The first one was Zach.
Yep, and the Zach was the first president to gain re-election. It's been tried, I think, every single time, but no president until Zach has done it. So we'll have to see if maybe Avalon's the second.
I think Zach done it in like March 2024, I think, or...
I think it was. I might be wrong. It's either March, or was it in the fall? I don't remember. Actually, no, it might have been March.
March, most likely.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
we'll see where these votes go. Alright, we have another call, and we have a vote update. Tom will go over that in a second. We can project the District of New York has gone to Avalon. This increases her vote total, or electoral vote, by 1, so not much, but it adds 1 to our total. And Tom, I think you can go over the results right now, the numbers.
Should be up.
Okay. Currently, Curious has about 16.1. He has 9 votes. Core has 17.9. He is at 10 votes. And President Evelyn's at 66.1. She is at 37 votes. We are 5% in.
Okay, with 5% of the votes being in, and Evelyn has won every single district that has currently been projected as of now. Then again, only 5% of the votes are in, but either Core or Kurisu have any states called to their name, and Evelyn has a 27 vote gap from the rest of them. So, very distant race so far.
Yeah, not a surprise that Avelin's in the lead, but obviously, looking at this more in a political perspective, Core and Kurisu still have a lot of states. There's still like 70 left. So Core's obviously going to do good in his state, Cascon, and we'll see how Kurisu does in Atlantica, but we'll just have to see about that. Anything else, Tom?
I think in past elections, I've noticed that Core's been doing really good in like the Midwest of the USNA and stuff.
Yeah, he's won Cascon every single time, I think. I might be wrong, but I think he's won Cascon every single time.
And I think he's also won Nebraska in every election that the election map has been used. I've noticed that.
Yes, I think. So that's all of our updates right now, unless you guys have something else to say. If not, then we'll come back once we get more votes. Only 5% in, it really can go any way at this point.
We'll be back, viewers, to give you more election returns. And now here's Creeper.
Alright, we have more results, 9% in. Tom will go over the result in a second, but we have a call in the state of Missouri, or District of Missouri. We can call that for Core. VR friend was going to say this is the battleground state, but Core has just won it, adding 1 to his total. Tom, if you want to go over the results from there.
Well, currently Curious has about 23.3%. He is at 20 votes. Quarter Epic is at 17.4%. He is at 15 votes and 1 district vote. Evelyn is at 59.3%. She is at 51 votes and 4 district votes. We are at 9% in.
Alright. And Core has just won the first of the multiple battleground states in the selection, winning the state of Missouri. Along with that, there's the state of Pennsylvania, Texas, Arizona, South Dakota, New Jersey, and British Columbia. Those are some of the most key states due to the mixed opinion of the voters there. So winning those will probably be the most clear path to winning the election for any of the candidates. Core has just won his first real district, and Evelyn keeps all 4 of hers, and Kurisu still has yet to get one. So with 9% of the votes in, sooner or later we might see the path this election is going.
Yep, I would also like to point out that Curious is at 2nd place in the votes. He is 5 votes from Court Epic. Court Epic is 15 votes.
Alright, we'll be back unless you guys have anything to add. And that's 9% of the vote in. Still can go either way. Core has won his first district, 1 step closer to the 37 he needs. And yeah, 5 districts called. Yeah, anything else?
Evelyn is still doing good in this election. That's not a surprise since he's the sitting president. But yeah.
Alright, we'll be back once we have more results. Alright, we have more vote, 14% in now. No call from any districts yet. The vote will update for Tom in a second here, and then he'll go over the results. They should update it any minute. I think they updated. You want to go over that now?
Okay.
Tom?
So currently, Curious has 0 districts. He is at 20.3%. Curious has about 28 votes. Core has one district. He is at 21.7%. He is at 30 votes. Evelyn has 4 districts. She is at 58.0. She has 80 votes, and she's still doing good in this election. I'll take it to one of you guys.
Okay, so observation about this update: 14% of the votes are in. No districts have been called for any of the candidates so far, but noticeable progress has been made, especially for Core, who came from being behind Kurisu to being in front of him. But Evelyn still maintains a strong lead over the both of them, so we'll just wait and see what happens.
Curious and Core are really close in the votes. Curious is at 28 and Core is at 30, so there's 2.2 votes between them.
And one more thing, I guess I can announce it here. If I look at, yep. So, I know it's not election stuff, but it happened during the election itself. All 3 of Avalon's bills, removing the impeachment system, what was the second one? It was removing the impeachment system, adding 4 departments, and then there was one more I'm forgetting, but all 3 bills have passed with a majority of over 50%. So yeah, 2 bills gained 100% support from both, and the removing impeachment has gained 56% in favor. So all 3 have passed. And
protection?
I don't have a graphic for that, but yeah, I'll bring it up once I do have a graphic for that. But all 3 bills have passed, and if you guys would like to comment on that, but this is not that big of a deal, but we'll see how that helps.
Okay.
Anything else? If not, then we'll cut back and we'll be back once more results are in.
Well, I personally think splitting the Congress is a good idea. I also personally think that making new departments was good, but I don't agree with removing the impeachment thing, since I feel like that if a president is bad, we cannot remove them, but it is what it is and it's over, so can't really do anything about it.
That is true, and we'll see if what happens. If anything, it could just be re-added back. So, yep, we'll be back. Unless you guys have anything else to add, we'll be back once more results are in. Alright, we have more vote, and I think it should be updated for Tom already, so if you want to go over that, we have 25% in.
Okay, it just did. Alright, so currently right now, Curious has 0 districts. He is at 20.1%. He is at 37 votes. Core has 1 district. He is at 25.00%. He is at 46 votes. And President Evans has 4 districts. She is at 54.9%. She is at 101 votes.
And no
Alright.
projections yet. VTimes, if you want to add on to that.
Okay, with 25% of the votes in, we still don't have any major projections as the electoral votes still stand 4-1 for Evelyn, 4 for Evelyn, 1 for Core, 0 for Kurisu currently, and Evelyn still maintains her very strong lead over the other 2 candidates, still gathering over almost 55% of the votes.
And
Evelyn has passed the 100 mark.
in the popular vote, yes. 101, still
And the
over 50,
candidates.
and 4 Kurisu are not neck and neck, but close to being tied. Evelyn still has a strong lead of over 40 votes. Like the fan said, Evelyn still has 4, Core has 1, Kurisu has 0. So we'll be back once we have more results, which shouldn't be too far from now. Alright, we currently have 33% in. We have a call in a district. The district of Alabama has been called for President Evelyn. This adds 1 to our total. And Tom, if you want to go ahead and go over the votes for us.
It just popped up for me. We are at 33% of the vote. Currently, Curious has still 0 districts. He is at 21.9%. He has 64 votes. Port Epic has 1 district. He is at 24.3%, and he has 71 votes. Evelyn has 5 districts. She is at 53.8, and she is at 157 votes.
In another district, one for Evelyn, and she still maintains her very strong lead over Port Epic and Kurisu. And with nearly...
It's kind of like the primary.
Yeah. Half of the votes are in, and she still almost has enough votes to probably be called a very early... given a very early win. But then again, it is very important. Electoral votes are the most important thing. She only has 5 out of a necessary 37. 37 needed to win. Porta Epic and Kurisu still have the chance to win those states if they get the majority of votes in there. It's happened before. So it's very possible that while the total votes can be given to one, could be led by one candidate, electoral votes led by another, and that candidate would eventually end up winning because they have the most electoral votes, and that's the main requirement. So I would not stress too much over the actual percentage of total votes, but the electoral votes are the most important thing, and there is still a lot to be collected.
Alright, we'll be back once we have more votes. Shouldn't take too long. Tom, would you like to add anything else?
Alright. So I think maybe 3 more projections in, Evelyn might pass the 200 mark in the popular vote. She's doing really good in the race right now. She's close to 160s. So yeah.
Nope, we just got more voting, 37% or more. No projections yet. Again, we only went up 4%, so Tom, you feel like
Should
go over that?
Okay.
Oh, did
Just
something
updated.
change?
Yeah,
It
just
did.
updated. So let me know when it pops up for you.
We got some new votes right now. Gurus has currently 0 districts. He is at 23.1%, 79 votes for him. Core is still at only 1 district. He has 24.0%, and he is at 82 votes. Evelyn still has 5 districts. She is at 52.9%, and she has 181 votes. So it's looking good for Evelyn right now in this race. We're at 37% in. Any comment, boys?
Not yet. We'll probably get another projection soon because of the very large lead Evelyn currently has. And yep.
The lead seems to be increasing. She has currently 99 more votes than the second place candidate, Corda Epic.
Alright,
And over 100 votes from Kurisu.
Yes. Alright, we'll be back once we have more votes. We might get a projection next, but we'll see what happens. Alright, we just got more vote in. We have now 42%. We have a call in the District of Quebec. It has been called for President Avalon. Tom, if you want to go over the percentages, they should have just updated.
Let's look at those votes, shall we? Currently, Curious still has 0 districts. He is at 21.9%. He is at 84 votes. And currently, Core still has 1 district. He is at 25.5%, 98 votes, very close to the 100 votes mark. President Evelyn's at 6 districts, 52.6%, and she has 202 votes. She has passed the 200 mark.
Yep, so the electoral vote right now stands, unless the Arcman, you want to go over that?
Okay, 42% of the votes are in. Still a lot to be done via the electoral vote system, but over the popular vote, Avalon still maintains her very strong lead over both of the other candidates. So it's very favorable she'd end up winning this election, but then again, anything else can happen.
Tom, would you like to add anything else for us?
Well, we're getting close to like the half amount of votes. As you know, Evelyn is still in the lead, and I would be shocked if one of the candidates were able to like be in the lead at this point. It's not looking good for them, it's looking good for Evelyn, but again, anything could change, as BR Friend said.
Alright, and the next vote, usually 50%, we get a large vote dump, so we'll have to see, and maybe we'll get some projections. Alright, we now have 50% of the votes in, a giant vote dump. So we have projections in a lot of states or districts. So Avalon has won the District of Florida, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, St. Pierre, and Core has won the districts, or the District of South Dakota, and Carisu has won the District of Pennsylvania. So Tom, if you want to go over the votes we just received, we have 50% in now.
Curious has 1 district. He is at 19.9%. He is at 165 votes. Core has 2 districts. South Dakota is a battleground state, right, Creeper?
Which state?
South Dakota?
Yes, it is.
He is at 27.4%. He is at 227, and Avalon has 16 districts. She is at 52.7%, and she is at 436, a big margin.
Alright, so Avalon having won about
I think that's
11
10?
more.
Yeah.
10 more states, or actually that's 12, after the update. Now 50% of the votes are in, half of them being casted. Still more work to be done, because double that would be 32, so you need to go and increase the amount of votes you get if you want to win the election first. But you still have a very strong lead in both ways now, both electoral and regular votes, over the other two candidates. So Evelyn still has this very much on her side. Now, in terms of swing states, which are another very important part of this, Evelyn seems to have won. Although it was already confirmed, she'd won the swing state that is... Well, right now she has won New Jersey, and she has also won... Yeah, it seems just New Jersey, and Kurisu has won the state of Pennsylvania, so that's one swing state for each of them, so far. So, though a lot of the results have been given so far, we still have a lot of work to be done, and I think it's very possible that, though it would be very tough, it's still a little bit possible anybody could win this election, but at this point, you kind of already see where it's leading.
Yep, and with these district calls, I don't have the graphic, but I can now say that Evelyn has won the state of Quebec and the state of New England after winning all of its districts. So, and yep, that's the update for now. We'll be back once we have more results, which shouldn't be too long. Tom, if you like to add anything else?
Well, everyone seems to be doing good in like the east side of the map. I can see that. And Evelyn is like, she has passed the 400 margin, as you can see. And that is my comments right now. Looks like that Evelyn's doing pretty good. The other candidates, they don't seem to be doing pretty good. Anyways, back to you, Creeper.
Alright, yep, so next vote shouldn't take too long. We should get it any minute now. And it should... There we go. Alright, 58% in. That didn't take too long. We have two more district projections. The districts of Ohio and West Virginia have both gone to President Evelyn. Tom, once it updates on your end, it should have just updated now. You can go over the new percentages. Not too much of a change, but 58% in.
Okay, votes have just been updated. Tom, go ahead.
Well, everybody who is watching right now, Chris has one district so far. He is at 21.6 right now. He has 212 votes. Cor is still at 2 districts. He is at 27.6%. He is at 207 votes. And Evelyn has 18 districts. She is at 50.8%. And Evelyn is at 498. She is almost close to the 500 mark. Again, she is at 498 votes.
Alright, and these votes, even though they are high numbers, especially since the primary, these are normal for a general election, since there obviously obviously since there's less candidates, there are only 3 this time instead of 5. So we'll get our next results any minute now, and we'll be back.
Okay.
All right, we now have 61% in, no projections. But we have more votes. Tom, if you want to go over that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Flores has one district. He is at 21.6%. He is at 318 votes. Flores still has two districts. He is at 27.6%. He has 369 votes. President Evelyn is at 18 districts. She is at 50.8, and she has 607 votes.
So Evelyn has
Tomlin,
now back on the route to having double as many total votes as all the other candidates, and she already has a very strong lead in terms of electoral votes. And I think it's really clear to see where this election will be leaning now.
Yeah.
And it seems most likely it'll be a re-election in her term, but their states are still up for grabs.
Yeah, Core could obviously still do pretty good in the West Coast, and it doesn't matter that Avalon's at 18. He could still grab another 35 states from anywhere on this map. So we will see how he does. And Kurisu, he's still hanging on there. He obviously could still grab 36 more states and win the election, but we'll just have to see how the rest of this plays out. VTimes Square coverage, actual in-game coverage, will begin soon. We just need more votes until we can switch to that camera.
Well, in the last projection, everyone had about 498, and I said that she would have. It looked like she might have passed the 500 mark, but I did not expect her to pass the 600 mark that soon. So that's a big leap. That's a big leap in votes. Big leap.
We just got another batch of votes, 67% in. Not much. Tom, whenever the votes update on your end, you can go over those. No projections. The electoral districts still stand. Avalon at 18, Core at 2, and Kurisu at 1. Tom, you can go ahead and go over the votes.
Well, currently, right now, Cruz has one district. He is at 23.0%, and he is at 363 votes. Court Epic has two districts. He is at 28.6%. He is at 451 votes. President Evelyn is at 18 districts. She is at 48.3%, and she is at 761 votes. I'll take it to the friend here.
Okay, so that's over 300 votes larger than Core in terms of total votes. So the election's still a close-ish race, but okay, who am I kidding? It's not really that close, but it's still possible for Emton on that, but it will be very hard as 20 states have already been called. More projections are being awaited, and we'll find out what happens, but you should already have an idea of how this is gonna go.
I'll go talk to some players and see what they think of this.
Alright, Tom, while you're doing that, we have more votes in, 71%. We have 5 new districts to call. We can actually call the state of Pacifica. Avalon has won the state of Pacifica. We can also, that includes, she has won the District of California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, and Idaho. So she has won those 5 districts, which is the state of Pacifica. Tom, if once you're done with your interviews, you can go ahead and tell us the votes.
I can do it now, but so far, Burris has 1 district still. He is at 23.6%, and he is at 394 votes. Quebec is still at 2 districts. He is at 28.7%, and he has 480 votes. Evelyn is at 23 districts. She is at 47.7%, and she has 796 votes. So she is almost close to the 800 mark.
Okay,
I'll take it to the fan here.
Okay, taking a look at the current map of votes. The swing states that were called for each of the candidates have not seemed to change as much as I would have expected them to, with most of them still being not already called, still being open. However, Evelyn is getting very close to the 37 mark total that will eventually win her the election and make her only the 2nd president to be re-elected directly, after Zach did such in December of 2023 and March of 2024, and she also is four total votes away from the 800 mark, which would see her having over exactly twice as many votes as Kurisu. Not quite twice as many votes as Core, but she still maintains a strong, very strong dominance over the 2 of them.
Alright, with that being said, we have 4 more projections. So starting off with Evelyn, she has won the districts of Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, and Core has won the district of Arizona. So Tom, once those votes update on your end, you can go ahead and go over that.
Okay.
So far, Curtis still has 1 district. He is at 25.7%, and he is at 518 votes. Core is at 3 districts. He is at 28.0%, and he is at 564 votes. President Evelyn's at 206 districts. She is at 46.2%, and she has 931 votes. So she has a big lead, and a big leap in votes from the last projection.
Alright, so she has 11 more votes total that is necessary before she is projected by VTimes Square as the next president of VTimes Square, and she is officially re-elected. She maintains her strong dominance, even though Core has won one of the bigger swing states in the election, which is the state of Arizona. Evelyn has countered that by winning Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana, all of which are quite important states, Texas being a swing state itself, so that's another one on her end. So, as states are being called, there are more chances for them to get their votes, but it'll be a very tough race.
Can I say something that some people said to me while I was interviewing them?
Go ahead.
Oh, I thought Yellow was crying when I talked to him a few minutes ago. Cord Epic just said that he's accepted his fate, and he is saying, I quote, "I'm nearly guaranteeing Evelyn will win," end of quote. And he's also saying, I quote, "just hoping I can get as much as possible," end of quote.
Well, yet again, it is, right now, seems a very likely chance that Evelyn's going to win this election. But yet again, even if Core does end out in defeat here, he still has his cabinet position on Evelyn's administration, unless she decides to change her mind on some people, but I highly doubt it. So we'll just see. Regardless, Core will still have a say in her administration, and her main goal is to get a lot of voices. So even if people that disagree with her, she still wants them on their team. So we'll just see how this rest of this election plays out. 83% in, and we are going to cut to VTimes Square pretty soon. Alright, we are 89% of the votes in. We have more projections. I think we have 3 more states or districts that have been called. So, President Evelyn has won the District of Michigan, Ontario, and Wisconsin. Tom, if you want to go over the new vote totals, go ahead.
Well, currently, right now, Chris has 1 district. He is at 25.6%, and he is at 609 votes. Core is at 3 districts. He is at 28.4%, and he is at 688 votes. President Evelyn is at 32 districts. She is at 46.0%, and she is at is that like 1?
That's 1,044 votes. So Evelyn has broken the 1,000 margin. BR Finish, want to go over the states that have just been called?
Alright, so after Evelyn's won this district, so Michigan, Ontario, and Wisconsin, she is now 5 electoral votes away from being projected the next president of VTimes Square. Something that most people have already expected, but I really didn't expect it to be that big of a margin. However, she did have that huge near landslide victory in the primary, gaining almost twice as many votes as everybody else. So I don't really think this was expected by many people, but still a very huge victory for her.
Right, and at
I'm
this...
in the crowd right now.
Go ahead.
You could be Creeper.
Alright, so we have new votes in, no district projections, but we can project the states of Erie has gone to President Avalon. The state of Ontario has gone to President Avalon. And the state of Texarkana has gone to President Avalon. So, Tom, if you want to go ahead and go over the new votes, even though not too much.
Right.
And yeah, these are new votes that are just in.
I was gonna say what was going on in the crowd right now, but I'll
go
say the
ahead.
new votes right now. Curtis has one district so far. He is at 26.1%. He is at 609 votes. Core has 3 districts, and he is at 28.6%. He is at 694 votes. President Evelyn is at 32 districts. Evelyn has about 45.3%, and Evelyn's at 1,097. Now, as for the crowds, there seems to be some extremist who is saying that violence is the answer.
Extremist? Hello? Sorry. Extremist?
Okay, that took a turn.
He wants to boycott the inauguration.
Hello?
One beat just you.
Okay. So these results are new, right?
Yes, these.
And that will give her a total. That would give Evelyn a total of 35 electoral votes, right?
We're at 32 right now. She needs 5 more.
Okay. So my comment on this. So Evelyn needs 5 more votes to be projected president. The states that she's won, the districts that she has won, are not really a surprise to many. Most of which have just been regular states. Some of which have been more balanced out, but most of the swing states are still taking a while to be counted, but we're sure to get the results from there.
Alright, and now is the time where I'm gonna switch the camera.
So
We
Tom,
have a camera view. Go ahead.
Tom, are you able to get back on the stage? Because we're about to switch to that camera.
Alright, I'm about to get on. I was just talking there. Okay, there we go.
Alright, we should be good. I think all of our sounds are working. If the background music is a little too loud, let me know and I could lower that. We are now live in VTimes Square. Nothing much going on here. Just a lot of people. But yet you see the votes are still at the bottom of the screen, and you have the electoral map on the right.
That map is looking pretty pink right now. A little
So
red.
this graphic is able to show you basically everything that's happened in the election. Basically a more compact version of the graphic you saw before, but you should still be able to see the total votes that each candidate gets as well as the total electoral votes, but and when calls are eventually made, you'll see those too. So yeah.
Alright, thank you, BR fan. Looks like we're 91% still, and the camera's currently on my face right now on the stream.
Alright, we will be back. Actually, we should get some vote really soon. Let me see if we have the votes. We should. And we do. Alright. So we have 2 new projections. If I can pull it up. We could call 2 states or districts. We have Durango. The Avalon has won that district, and she has also won the district of Minnesota. Tom, if you want to go over the new vote totals, Avalon's currently at 34 district votes, which puts her only 3 away from re-election.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let's look at it right now. Curtis still has 1 district, and he is at 25.7%. He is at 609 295 votes. Excuse me. And Core has 3 districts, and he is at 29.6%. He is at 802 votes. And Evelyn, as Creeper just said, is at 34 districts, and she is at 44.7%, and she is at 1,209. 1,209.
Alright. With 93% of the votes in, Evelyn now stands 3 votes away from returning to the seat of the president of VTimes Square. A very, very dominant election so far. Evelyn has maintained a huge lead throughout the entire thing, and I feel like a lot of people predicted with this, combined with her result in the primary, that she would win, and most likely win by a large percentage, and that's mostly what we've seen today.
Alright, we will be back once we have more votes. We probably won't. Tom, you want to
comments?
Go ahead.
Well, the crowd seems to be jumping right now. They want to be seen on camera, and the VTimes there are some persons saying they're a VTimes Square extremist, and he's saying some stuff I don't want to say here, but he's just saying some bad things. But anyways, the crowd is very excited. Some are already predicting that Evelyn will win.
Alright, at the end of that statement, we have 95% of the vote in. We just gained, I think, 4%. Evelyn has won 2 more districts. Let me pull those up right now. 2 more districts. She has won Colorado, and she has won 1 more. But yeah, so she is currently 1 away from winning the presidency, and at this point it seems very it's very likely that she's gonna win. So Tom, if you want to go over we'll go over the votes, go ahead and do that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, currently right now Cruz still has only 1 district, and he is at 25.7%. He is at 773 votes. Core has 3 districts. He is at 29.3%, and he is at 881 votes. And Evelyn is at 36 districts, as Cooper said earlier, and she is at 45.0%, and she has 1,352, and it looks like that she might win by many people's eyes, and even, it looks like she might win, and she might become the second president to win 2nd term in a row. So I'll take it to you guys right now.
Alright. Well, nothing else for me to really say. She's 1 away. It's been mentioned before, but Evelyn is now 1 electoral vote away from being projected as the next president of VTimes Square. She's had a very dominant election so far, and she has now almost twice as many votes as Kurisu, not quite as many as Core, but still very much on her side. So it seems very clear who the winner of this election would end up being, unless some huge miraculous save came out from any of the candidates. Technically, it's not impossible, and we have seen it in elections before, but we're really too close for this to go any other way.
Yep, with 95% in, it's really unlikely that anything new is going to show up. But yet again, you never know. We'll just have to wait and see, but I highly doubt it.
Alright, Creeper, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Will Evelyn make a victory speech if she wins this election later?
I have no clue. She might not, but since it's pretty late
Will she do an inauguration?
that we'll have to wait and see, because yet again, inaugurations are optional. Not every president has to do one, but yet again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. As far as the other candidates go, or in second place right now, even though it may not seem likely he's going to win, he still, yet again, still has a cabinet spot on Avalyn's administration. Whether if that stays or not, that is up to her, but I would say it's very likely. But we will have to see what she does as president for another 90 days, about 3 months. But yeah.
Will I still be on her cabinet paper?
I mean, I wouldn't see why not. This administration, I think, went pretty smoothly, so I don't see why she would not put you on the cabinet. But yet again, it's her choice. We'll have to see. And if anything, she just added 4 new departments, so I think you would qualify for more than one. But we'll have to see. It's her choice.
Alright. So, there are a lot of states that are not called yet, but if Evelyn wins one, she wins the election, right, Creeper?
Yep, if she just wins one more district, she wins the entire election. And yet again, it will not be a huge surprise. This was kind of expected after seeing the large victory in the primaries. So, yet again, won't be. It'll still be impressive that this might be a full landslide election, all 15 states. Yet again, she was close to doing that in the previous election. She missed 2, which Core won. But that was only a 2-way race. This time it's a 3-way race. So we'll just have to see what happens.
I also noticed there's a lot of states that, despite 95% of the votes being counted, a lot of states are still blank. Are those the ones that are all those states going to be expected to be counted by the time 100% of the votes are in?
Yes, I think we should expect that.
We should have every single state.
Yes. As a matter
So
of fact, we have a major projection. Yeah, we have a major projection as far as the presidential race. Avalyn has won re-election. It is official now. We don't have any of the vote totals in, but she has won all of the other districts that are currently still outstanding. Yet again, this is not a big surprise. We'll get the votes in soon, but Tom, if you want to look at the results.
Well, as you can see, Evelyn will be re-elected along with Luna. This is another landslide election. I see a lot of pink in the map right now.
Yep, the map.
Score is pink.
Yep, the map is pink. This is the first landslide. All 15 states have gone towards the president.
There are some final statistics, though. You can see now recent press release, recent release of votes. Final total with 100% of the votes in. Kurisu has held on to 1 state, gaining 25.9% of the votes and 800 total. Corda Epic has 3 states, 29.8% of the votes and 977 total. And Avalyn being projected the president of VTimes for yet again. She has 44%, 44.3% of the votes, 1,454 votes, and a whopping 70 70 electoral votes out of a possible 74. So it is a major landslide on her side. She has wiped the entire map, and is probably one of the most major victories I've seen. So yeah.
Alright, beat our fan.
And as you can see now, she basically literally turned the map pink.
This is a landslide in the terms of districts and states.
Every state, all 15, have gone one way. So this is the first fully landslide election. So what can we expect for the next 90 days? I wouldn't see. I don't know. Yet again, there's been 4 new cabinet positions. So definitely she's gonna add more people on her team. Definitely Core, well, we'll see. I think he's gonna keep his position, as well as VR fans also on her cabinet. Same with Tom. Treasure is also on there. Zach is on there. Quayne is on there. Sun Gamer's on there. So yet again, it's probably gonna be roughly the same cabinet, but we'll have to see. This is, yet again, a fully landslide election. Even with percentages, 44% compared to the 29.8 and 25.9. Tom, do you have any final remarks before? I'm not sure if she's doing a victory speech tonight, but
we'll see. Well, I think we would all like to congratulate President Evelyn on her winning, and Luna. I think they did pretty good in this election. And I'm looking at her winter 2024 to 2025 roadmap. She still has some things left. Revise the current server rules. We developed a warning system to be more district and eliminate all drama within the chats. I don't know if the Donald thing has been checked off, but she has checked off the remove impeachments article system, and I believe she'll get the other stuff that she has not done yet. It's all done in her second term. So the second term, she has a lot more opportunities. She can get a lot done. So our deepest congrats to President Evelyn and Vice President Luna.
Yep, yet again, for I don't expect the cabinet to change too much. But yeah, here are the final results. The map has literally gone all pink. I'm gonna pull up the state results. We've been looking at districts. So here are the state results. There you go. All 15 are pink. And Evelyn has not vowed to run for re-election after this. So this will probably be Evelyn's last term in office. But yet again, if you just look at the votes on the screen, 1,454, 44.3% compared to 977 and 850. All 15 states are pink. It's obvious that Evelyn has landslided this entire election.
Creeper?
Yeah.
Current map that's being shown. What is that? Is that like the map?
The map is states. These are states. So what we were seeing before with everything divided is districts, but these are states.
So look, there's one.
All of them.
There is literally no red. And I would like to say, okay, so former President Zach, who also was re-elected to a second term, has just told Evelyn, welcome to the second term Real Club. So Zach has just talked to Evelyn.
I don't.
In terms of reaction, you can finish.
I think that's all we have. We've already cut off the VTimes camera. But yeah, we can expect some cabinet announcements, but that'll be more of a Discord, VTimes Discord thing, so we probably won't publicly post it. But yep, that's the final result. 70 districts, 15 states for president re-elect Avalon. But yeah, this has been a long election. It's been nearly been 2 hours, but most of that is what is it? Wondrous Journeys, but that's okay. Do you have any final remarks? Because this has been an historical election.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me, and I want to congratulate President Avalon and Vice President Luna for their re-election. And I'm very surprised by the fact they were able to landslide the entire election like this, gaining 7 electoral votes out of a possible 74, which is probably the most a president has ever had, and this is the first time a landslide has ever happened, a complete landslide has ever happened in the history of Times Square. So, yeah.
Alright, and that's all I have from me. Tom, do you have any final remarks?
Well, in terms of the crowd reaction, I see that Jello said he's mad, XMB says he's triggered, and the Fritz guy said this election was rigged, though there is no evidence that this election has been rigged. Every vote has been counted, every vote was not rigged. Core's reaction, well, he's not happy, but there are some people who are celebrating, but yeah,
There are
that's the
definitely
reaction that I thought.
there are people taking it worse than Core. So Core's been doing a good job in the game. Yeah.
I would like to say thank you for having me, Creeper and BR fan. Hope we can do this with the next election with this election coverage, and have a good night, you two, and everyone who's watching.
Alright. Have a good night, guys. We will be back in, well, maybe. I'm not sure if we're going to do the coverage, but we will be back in February 2025, end of February, for the spring election. And definitely going to look a lot different, but we'll see how that goes. Alright, good night, everybody. It's been a long
Good night, ladies and gentlemen.